Hello everyone, my name is Nikita and I'm from the Bodhi Academy. Today we are going to start with a new chapter from 9th Standard Science textbook from the physics part, that is motion. Okay? In this chapter we are going to study motion and the different concepts related to motion. Now before starting we will look at the definition of motion. Now we know that motion is something which moves. In everyday life, we see some objects at rest and others in motion. So, the opposite word of motion is being at rest, and the other is motion. Birds fly, fishes swim, blood flows through veins and arteries, and cars move. All these atoms, molecules, planets, stars, and galaxies all are in motion. And because they are in motion, they are giving us a function, okay, because of which it is related to our everyday life. We often perceive an object to be in motion when its position changes. So when do we say that an object is moving? When the position of the object changes, we say that it is moving. Now, uh, so we will see more concepts about motion. So looking at the definition, motion is when the position of a particular object changes. And it is not at rest. Okay, so this is motion. Now when we describe motion, we have to look at one important thing. We describe the location of an object by specifying a reference point. Now by reference point means origin. We know that graphs have origin from where it starts. Okay, similar way we look at motion. Okay, it also has a reference point. Let us assume that a school in a village is 2 kilometers north of the railway station. Okay, the school is 2 kilometers north of the railway station. We have specified the position of the school. Okay, what are we saying is the position of the school with regards to the railway station. Okay, to the railway station. Now what does this mean? That railway station is the reference point in this situation. Okay, we could have also chosen other reference point with regards to our convenience. Therefore, to describe the position of an object, we need to specify a reference point, and that reference point is called as a origin. Okay, now if we have to give a direction, we will always say that it is 5 kilometers from this place. Okay, 5 kilometers from that place. Okay, so that particular place becomes the reference point or the origin. So in motion we say that we call the reference point, okay, as the origin. Okay, now motion along a straight line. Okay, now what do we understand by this? This means that this is the simplest type of motion wherein an object is moving in a straight line. Okay, the simplest type of motion is the straight line motion. Consider the motion of an object along a straight line path. The object starts its journey. Okay, so now we will be looking at this figure. Okay, the now the object is moving in this path. Okay, and there are some dimensions given over here. These are the kilometers. Okay, and there are some points which are given. So we will say that the object starts its journey from O, okay, which is treated as the reference point. So this is the origin now. Okay, so origin means all the distances we will be considering from point O. Okay, let A, B and C represent the positions of objects at different instants. Okay, the same object is moving, it is starting from O and it is moving along a straight line, and as it is moving it has different positions. Okay, these positions are given as A, B and C. Okay, in the first case, the object moves through C and B and reaches A. So in the first case, we will say that the object is crossing B and C. Okay, the object is crossing B and C, and it is reaching the point A. Okay, it is reaching, this is the first case. Okay, now, so how much distance the object has covered over here? The object has covered 0 to 60 kilometers, right? So object has covered 60 kilometers over here in this case. Okay, in the first case. Now what happens is that it comes back along the same path and reaches C through B. Okay, so in the second case now, in the second case, the object is coming back through B and it is reaching at C. Okay, so now this is the second case. And how much distance it has covered from C? Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, it has covered 35 kilometers. Okay, in the second case. So now the total path length. Okay, so what happened first? It started from here, it reached, in this case it reached A. Okay, in the first case it covered 60 kilometer. Okay, so we will say that OA is 60 kilometer. Okay, then in the second case it went from A to C. Okay, and it covered 35 kilometer. Okay, so in this what we will say that a total path length covered by the object, or in scientific language we will say that the total distance covered by the object. Okay, total distance covered is OA plus AC, that is 60 plus 35 is equals to 95 kilometers. Okay, so total distance covered is 95 kilometers. Okay, the distance covered by the object is 95 kilometers. Now to describe distance we need to specify only the numerical value, not the direction. Okay, for measuring distances, for specifying distances, we are not saying any directions like north, south, east, west. We are only saying the magnitude. So distance only has magnitude, not direction. Okay, from this example, can you find the distance of the final position of the object from its initial position O? Okay, so now we know that total distance covered is this, right? So the question over here is, can we find the distance of the initial point and the final point? Okay, now what is the initial point? Okay, we know that the initial point was O, this O. Okay, and which is the final point now? C. Okay, this is the final point, right? So can we find the distance between this? Yes, right? O to C. Okay, OC, from here we can say that OC is 25 kilometers, right? Okay, now O to C is 25 kilometers, right? Okay, consider the example for the motion of the object from O to A. Okay, so first we will see this. OC is 25 kilometers. Now we'll take another example. Okay, for the motion of object from O to A, the distance covered is 60 kilometers. Okay, then during its motion from O to A and to B, okay, to B, it is 25 kilometers, right? So 60 plus 25 is 85 kilometers, okay, while the magnitude of displacement is 35 kilometers. Okay, so now what we are looking at is the total distance covered. Okay, total distance covered is the total path length. Total path length traveled by the object. Okay, entirely. Okay, and but the initial position and the final position is different, right? So this is the displacement. Okay, it has just displaced from here to here. Okay, from here to here. So this is the displacement. The shortest distance the object covers is the displacement. Okay, now so the definition of displacement is okay. Now another example we will take. So if the object is going from O to A, okay, 60 kilometers, and then it is coming back to O, okay. Okay, if it is going to A, in the second case it is coming back to O. Okay, so it is covering more 60 kilometers. So this is OA plus AO, 60 kilometers plus 60 kilometers, total path length covered is 120 kilometers. But what is the initial and final point? The initial and final point is O. It remains the same. Okay, so there is this displacement over here is 0. Okay, so displacement is the shortest distance covered, and it is the difference or the distance between the initial point and the final point of the object. Okay, and this value can be 0. However distance it has covered, if the initial point and the final point of the object is the same, the displacement of the object will be 0. Okay, and the distance will be more. Okay, so these were the concepts about distance and displacement. Okay, now the next concept is uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Now what is a uniform motion? If an object moving along a straight line is traveling 5 meters, okay, 5 meters in first second. For example, now an object is traveling and it is, so for motion we are considering two things over here, the time and the distance covered. Okay, so it is covering okay, so now we will consider time in seconds and distance in meters. Okay, so if the object is covering 5 meters in 1 second, then again 5 meters in another second, and again 5 meters in another second. So we can say that in 3 seconds it is covering 15 meters by this form. Okay, then it is covering equal distances in equal intervals of time. That is uniform motion. When the object covers equal distance in equal intervals of time, that is uniform motion. Okay, the time interval should be small. In our day-to-day life, we come across motions where objects cover unequal distances in unequal intervals of time. Okay, so means, for example, 6 meters, then again 3 meters, 2 meters. Okay, unequal distances in equal intervals of time in 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Okay, when the object covers unequal distances in equal time interval, it is non-uniform motion. It is non-uniform, not uniform. Okay, non-uniform motion. The example over here is when a car is moving on a crowded street or a person jogging in a park. Okay, means if it is in a crowded street, then the car, however the speed of the car is, the car has to move not uniform distances in equal intervals of time. So that is the concept of uniform and non-uniform motion. So today we learned about motion, then different concepts of distance and displacement, and different types of motions. Okay, so in the next video we will be studying more details about other concepts related to motion like speed, acceleration. Okay, so yes, thank you for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel.